YouTube? What's going on? It's ADR back with another video for Torchlight Infinite. This is going to be T8 farming methods that you can use. A follow-up to the T7 video that I dropped a couple days ago. This is going to be some stuff that I either used on stream last night or that I tested after stream. And I've got two goodies for you. I've got one pretty new one, and then I've got one that's kind of an oldie but a goodie. I'm going to break down exactly how you're going to be farming these, giving you the specifics of what you should be looking for to sell, how you're going to be running them, going over the specifics of the tree, and anything else that you're going to need. And in regard to that, I will also be including in the pinned comment the build code for these. And you can also hop in Discord and ask questions or leave a comment down below if you've got any questions about anything that we cover in the video today. So without further ado, let's hop into the first one. This is going to be the Dream Pirates.
That's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen.
Dream Pirates is pretty much one of my favorite T8 strategies. It's just always consistent season after season. What we're doing is we are combining the Black Sail mechanic with the Dream/Nightmare mechanic. So in Dream, we're going to be farming bubbles to get mostly like we'll get bubbles for currency. It'll drop like all kinds of random stuff. But the big thing is going to be the Dream Talking materials. There are 3 types. And then for Black Sail, we're looking for all the hero memory related things. For the actual star chart, what we have here is we have 9 points in commodities. We have 12 points in beacons. We have 8 points in the Black Sail mechanic, 15 points in our God of War, and then 39 points in the Dream/Nightmare mechanic. Let's go ahead and break this down for you. Number 1, we have 8 points here just to get the Whisper of Wealth. This is going to guarantee that every time that we do this mechanic, we're going to get this Whisper of Wealth, which is going to be the one that shows up in the top left, and that's pretty much the only one that we're ever going to be clicking on when we are completing an anchor in a map. Moving into the Nightmare constellation, we're going to be taking most of this tree. We're going to be taking all of this down here to guarantee that this spawns in all of our maps. This is going to increase the amount of stages we're getting per gameplay. And then this is just some extra stuff over here, giving you some extra goodies. This is the least important points in this tree, this left section over here on the top left. God of War, we're simply using 15 points to guarantee God of War to greatly increase the speed at which we are able to clear our maps. For the commodities, I've gone ahead and just taken the mystery chest. The mystery chest just randomly spawns whenever you have defeated the map, whenever you defeat a map boss. I've gotten anything from nothing up to like 5. I had a stack of 5 ultimate members drop. You can drop a ring out of here that's worth over 1,000 FE. So these are just some nice little, this is a nice add-on onto your maps. And then I have these beacon nodes here. So going up for the beacon chest, and then I just choose up here. I chose to go with Glacial Abyss because that's the zone I'm farming. If you want things to be as simple as possible, just up here, choose the nodes for the zone of map that you are running. The less things you have to stop and buy, the more time you're spending in the maps. So if you can like self-sustain the chosen map of your choice, then it's, you know, it's nice. And plus anything that you can still of course sell like all the other ones you're not going to be farming. And then of course I have this just to get some, again, just a little bit of extra sustain. It's not crazy, but it's nice for like the little bit of point investment that we have in this tree. As for priorities, everything in the beacons and the commodities, these are what I would get last. Everything in the other trees is what I would want first. So definitely get your Black Sail, get your Nightmare, and get your God of War first. Get your commodities and your beacons last. Going into the Profound Talent tree. With this strategy, we don't really care about quantity with these mechanics, which is why they pair perfectly together. So we're not taking any of the quantity nodes. Instead, I've gone for the 2 nodes for extra cards because we're going to be card chasing. The cards for this are very solid. So we've gone up here. This gives us a better chance at rarer cards, and this gives us a chance for an extra card, but things will take less damage in our maps. We're not juicing our maps, so generally this is fine. Of course, since we are going to be running the cards, you do want to be on the lookout for the good ones. Basically, anytime you see a rainbow card pop up, you're going to run it. The rainbow cards are fantastic. And then some of the better cards, when you have the rare cards, are going to be the FE card is okay. It's not great. This card right here, this beacon node is absolutely amazing. Always run this when you get it. This is also amazing. Always run this when you get it. If you have to choose, if you ever get more than one of these to pop up at once, my priority here would be the beacons, and then the shallow dream talking, and then whatever else you get. Past that, just take whatever your best card is. For Black Sail, while we're running the maps, we're going to be using the purple compass, which is why we did not take the 15 points to guarantee that. So we are going to be using this compass right here, which is called the Returning Black Sail Compass. These are between 4 to 5 FE a piece. If you do not want to or cannot afford to use those compasses en masse currently, you can just use the blue version of the Black Sail Compass just to guarantee it in your maps, which is usually between 1 to 2 FE. Now, how do you run the mechanic? I'll break it down one by one. So first, let's show you how the Black Sail mechanic is going to look in game. When you get to the end of a map, there's going to be an anchor that pops up after you have defeated the map boss. When you click that, you will be presented with a choice. You're generally going to be taking the top left choice. That's going to be the whisper that we used our 8 points to generate. And when you're making your selections on the end screen, you're going to be focusing on either scraps or threads. Let your first 1 or 2 anchors kind of guide you in which direction you're going to be going, and then try to hard focus one or the other as best as possible. There is also the option, since we're in T8, to change your 8 points in your tree to go for hero memories instead. That is more of a gamble, but that is also a very solid choice. I'm going for scraps or threads because it is just a more consistent farm. But there are some big potential hits if you do instead go for the hero memory choice. So keep that in mind. Once we have done 4 maps with the purple compass or 8 maps with the blue compass, we will have fully generated a boss fight in which we will go in, we will fight the boss, and then we will get the reward chest. From the reward chest, the big thing that's going to be dropping is going to be scraps, threads, random hero memories, void invitations, so the invitations to do the boss fights, and also you'll get random odds and ends out of this box. The boss fight itself is pretty straightforward. You'll know pretty quickly how your damage is going in. But generally, if you can do T8, you shouldn't have any issue getting through the fight. Maybe if you're like barely just into your T8s, it might be a little bit rough, but it should be fine going in there. It's a pretty easy boss overall. And of course, like I said, once you go in, you just fight the boss, you get your chest drops, and it'll be random every time. You sell all the stuff that drops out of there. As for the Nightmare is going to be a little bit different. So Nightmare, when you go in, you're going to start the mechanic. You're going to be presented with a choice. Generally, when you are dealing with the Nightmare mechanic, you want to focus on upgrading your bubbles to the highest rarity possible. And then once you've got them to the highest rarity possible, which usually is going to be red, you then want to focus on replicating them or adding more bubbles to then try to get those raised up as well. But you want to get your first initial bubbles raised up first, generally. This is what your chart is going to look like for Dream/Nightmare if you do not have the pet. And then if you do have the pet, you can continue going forward and getting 1 extra bubble. Generally, the entire tree for Nightmare will let you start with 4 bubbles. I would suggest never ever going 4 bubbles. I think if you have the pet, the legendary pet, you want to go with a 3 bubble start strategy. If you do not have the legendary pet, you want to go with a 2 bubble start strategy. While going through the maps, you will occasionally encounter these blue floating clouds. They can do many things. They can just release mobs for you to kill. They can release a chest that can drop all kinds of stuff, or they can just give you a random buff that gives you a lot of movement speed and will like have you shooting lightning and basically one-shotting anything that comes near you. Whenever you see the blue stuff, go into it. As for the rest of how this mechanic works in maps, you will start the mechanic, your map will turn blue, you'll get the dream mobs infesting your maps, you'll kill them, and then you'll end your map. There's not much else to do in there. Every time that you interact with the mechanic, the chances that you will be pulled into the Nightmare will increase until it hits 100% and you will be forced to go in. And once you are inside, you will simply be going through. There will be 4 routes that you will need to destroy. While you are destroying the routes, there will be a man on a horse chasing you. This man on the horse is invincible. Do not try to kill him. He will try to kill you. If he does kill you, there is a chance that you will lose bubbles. So be careful of that. Again, our main priority is just to get the highest type of bubble or the highest rarity of bubble that we can get. If you are able to choose your types of bubbles, my tier list for bubbles would be commodity first, always. Next would be black sail, fluorescent, maybe whim, somewhere in that order. And then everything else is kind of whatever. So Netherrealm and gear are kind of just, I don't, if you can avoid them, usually avoid them. And that's pretty much going to be it for the Dream Pirate strategy. Let's move on to strategy number 2. Hey, before we move into the second strategy, could you do me a huge favor and like this video? And maybe throw a sub at the channel if you're really enjoying the content or if it's really been helping you out this season. It very much helps me out, and I really appreciate it. We are pushing to 4,000 subs soon, and I want to thank each and every one of you that has subbed and will sub. Thank you all. Now let's get back to the video. Strategy 2 is one that has propped up newly this season, and I'm sure many of you have seen or heard people running it. This is what I ran on the last stream, and I made somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 FE that stream. And this is simply a bus and go strategy, focusing on the outlaw mechanic.
Who's driving this bus?
For the outlaw mechanic, we are taking everything on the left side, basically. So we're coming in here, we're getting mods, and then I like warlock, so that's what I went. We're taking this entire thing here to guarantee that we have carjack and everything. I am taking all of this as well, going all the way down. We come here to this middle node at the bottom, and then we go up to this node here. We don't take anything on the right side, talking about bounties. I don't take these 4 points either. Past that, we are, of course, again, going to be using God of War just to speed us up. Extra additional points can be thrown in for extra duration. Once again, I am using points here just for the extra map sustain. And in commodities, I have 9 points into just general quantity. For our profound talents, we have the double quantity nodes. Be careful, this one right here says you only get 2 lives instead of 6 in your maps. So if you die twice in a map, your map is done. If you can't handle this, move this somewhere else. Now, this one's going to be much simpler. I will actually do a live demo on how I do this map, just so you can see how it is done. So let me go ahead and reset my void chart on my tree. For this one, we are again chasing cards. This mechanic very much does care about quantity. So the way I've been running it is I'll come in, let me remove this, and I would suggest that you use between 3 or 4 extra mods on your maps. So go to 60 or 70. I generally don't do the full 100 and T8 just because it more than doubles the resonance cost of the map. So going up to 4 with 75 quantity, it cost me 15 resonance a map. If I went up to 100, it would cost me 31 resonance. So I tend to stay at 3 or 4 extra mods on my maps. No compasses are needed. We open the portal. We go into the mechanic. We hit our God of War. And all we're doing is we are clearing until we find the bus mechanic. Once we get the bus mechanic, we're going to be clearing the mechanic. Now, if you have the pets for this mechanic, you're going to want to do something special. So what you want to do is you want to set your pet chart up so that whenever you start the encounter, your pets will come out. And then what you want to do is you want to put your normal general pet page, whatever it should be, on a hotkey. And then once you have started the encounter, you want to swap over to that. Because for this mechanic, you only need to have your league pet out when it starts, and then you can swap over to your general pets, and then that'll also affect the mobs. So that is what you're going to want to do. And this one's really simple. We just go in, we click the bus, and then we get out. With this one, I'm not so worried about clearing the entire map. Whereas with the other one, I do kind of want to clear most of, if not the entire map. Here, I'm really just running to the bus, clearing it out, and then if we get anything here, we're just running to the bus, we're getting all the mobs down, and then we're just beelining it for the boss. If there's any extra sides of the map, I tend to ignore them when doing this strategy. This is really just going to be a buses per hour strategy. All right, that is all we got there. So we're going to run to the end of the map. And then I'll do one more just so you guys can get a quick look at what it is. And I kind of want to get my pet to proc too. Pet does go pretty crazy, of course, but listen, I know I'm going to get the question, so I'll go ahead and head it off right now. Is this mechanic worth doing without the pet? Yes, it is. I've had this mechanic regularly dropping me anywhere from 10 to 40 FE without a pet proc, which is really, really solid income. Of course, if you get a bounty to proc as well, you do want to do your bounty. For the bounties themselves, I would prioritize, if you have the option of rerolling, I would prioritize raw FE. After the FE, I would go for the energy tokens. Somehow, those are like 1 to 2 FE a piece. And then fluorescent, and then, you know, go from there. But if you can get FE, prioritize FE. And there you go. We just stand here, we kill all the mobs. It's a good time. Loot drops on the ground. All right, we've done that. And then we are going to run straight to the end of the map, killing everything on the way. I'm going to go back and pick that map up. Maps are way too expensive to not be going to get that. Yoink. Another map. Oh, the Proof of the Brave. Yada. All right, bosses down, and that, and then leave. And that is how you do the bus and go strategy. Now, let's talk about a couple of things that I would advise you do not do in your maps. Number one, I tried the Soul Cage mechanic in Time Mark 8. This one right here, this new one. I tried this. Maybe this is good, maybe in Profound, or of course, maybe if you're using the big orange legendary compass, but I did not try that. Just the full tree in T8 was pretty bad. I was averaging like 7 FE at the most per map from doing this mechanic. It wasn't very good. And also it does require a healthy bit of damage to get through. So I would generally just not worry about this one. Also, when you're going through your maps, you'll notice I did not interact with the current league mechanic. I did not interact with the overall mechanic. That was on purpose. I ran it 70 plus times in T8 with mods, and even with me putting some points into my talent tree, trying to get it to do something. And unfortunately, in the current state that it's in, I just do not think it is worth your time in T8 or T7. I don't know about Profound. We'll see when I get there. So yeah, I would just focus on the strategy that you're farming, ignore the Overrealm for now. Even with the pets, I do not find it to be worth my time at all. And that is going to be what I've got for you today in T8. Hopefully you have a good time farming. There are, of course, many other strategies, and you can always follow me in the game, or if you're ever looking for anything that I've put up, you can just come over here, type it's ADR, and that will pull up anything that I have posted. Thank you all for your time. Have a fantastic day. Get to farming, get to Profound, and I'll see you there. I'm ADR, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.